Ben Shapiro is not liked, apparently. Well, as of recently, because he has strong political views, and when you get political, you kind of have to pick one side, and he picked a side that the other half don't like, so he kind of screwed himself out of half of an audience. Now, he has another enemy he wants to make, which is, well, Andrew Tate, which is kind of on his side, but with the recent situation with Candace Owen, he wants to make more enemies because he thinks his life is too peaceful. He made a video talking about how Andrew Tate is a grifter or a con artist. So for those who don't know what a grifter is, well, it's just con artists, but some kind of modern day millennial term that they're using now. And judging by the dislike ratio, people are not too pleased. Now, I don't like or dislike Ben Shapiro. To me, he's indifferent. I always find his methodology of argument kind of interesting because the guy is actually quite a straw man or a gaslighter. But yeah, apparently he's not antagonized for that, but instead he is getting called a douche nozzle for having strong political views, which totally understand. Now Ben goes on to talk about how Andrew Tate is not a likable guy because Andrew Tate's philosophy on having a family, having kids, is, well, to just have a bunch of wives, have a bunch of children, and Ben Shapiro, he preached that the only way to have a family is a traditional method, which is, well, the generic nuclear family. Guy provides, wife stays at home, raise the kids, da 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 da. You gotta have a father figure. And he doesn't like Andrew Tate having a bunch of wives and then leaving the house and then having these wives taking care of his kids, which I can agree that is kind of fucked up, but everybody to themselves. Those women agreed to it, fine. They want a rich man, yeah, fine. And they had to settle for this, fine, whatever. But today we're not talking about philosophy. The thing I want to talk about the most as a data analyst is Ben Shapiro's analysis of Andrew Tate's finance.
Quote, despite the influencer previously claiming to be a trillionaire, a press release from Romania's anti-organized crime prosecution unit, DICOT, suggested Tate's true fortune was more likely around 10 million pounds, which is about $12.5 million in today's dollars. As part of the indictment, prosecutors ordered the confiscation of luxury assets from the Tate brothers, including 15 high-value cars, 14 luxury watches, and about 440,000 pounds held in cryptocurrency, according to the agency's statement. So, Andrew Tate has some money. Is he beyond the world wealthy, such that you should explode thousands of years of human knowledge about things like marriage and how to properly treat women and how to build a civilization? I think not, because the grift is the grift is the grift.
Now, I don't know why Ben Shapiro is stern on the idea that the 12 million of assets seized by DICOT, being, I don't know, the FBI equivalent of Romania, is all of Andrew Tate's net worth. I don't know how or why. Now, obviously he didn't say it, but then common sense will point out Ben Shapiro's demeanor to Andrew Tate's net worth that's been seized as being all his net worth. Like, oh, look at this, Andrew Tate only has $12 million, which, I get it, right? You don't like the guy and you kind of have a bad light on him and you like to think less of someone just because you don't like them. But here's the thing, I don't like to let my judgment be skewed by my biases. So I don't know if this is true or not, but let's see here. Ben Shapiro seems to really believe in this, or he probably doesn't. He is a pretty smart man, so it's possible that he is making the strong claim about Andrew Tate's net worth in order to get Andrew Tate to be insecure and reply and give Ben Shapiro some kind of social blow up or whatever. But you know what? It doesn't really matter. Ben Shapiro does kind of look like a dumbass in this situation, judging how his fans don't really like his comment or his judgment about Andrew Tate's net worth. Now, let's dive into the analysis. As far as I know, Andrew Tate has 59 supercars. Self-proclaimed, granted, but these supercars, they're not really valuable per se. They go for around $250,000 to $500,000. And supercar, they depreciate. They age like milk, or they depreciate like milk. Now, the most expensive one is a Bugatti, but that doesn't really increase the average of the 59 cars. So I'm still going to average it down the middle just to even make Andrew Tate's net worth even less by my analysis. So we'll cut it down the middle between 250 to 500, in the middle 375K. Multiply that by 59, that surmounts to $22 million. Now, you may not see some of them anymore for the maniacs that actually watched all his content. That is because he has a supercar rental company where he rents a supercar that he has for additional income that he no longer drives. We can say that supercar depreciate hard. So with calculation, the $22 million of supercars that he has, it's probably worth around $11 million. Now, we can go to his watch collection, which initially is worth around $4 million, but unlike cars, they appreciate, meaning that they go up. And last I checked, the Bugatti watch that he purchased is now going for $4 million. And the custom piece, like his emerald watch, may be doubled of what it is because it's kind of one of a kind and it's worn by a really famous guy, and there's no such thing as a emerald watch. So fair to say that thing is going to go up in value just because of its uniqueness. People are just into these things because they are one of a kind, legendary, almost like a rare gear in WoW. So I've estimated that his watch collection went from $4 million to now $8 million, which is honestly not that much. But if I already count for the cars and the watch, that is already worth $19 million, more than what Ben Shapiro projected his net worth to be. Now for the hard stuff. Let's start from the very beginning. He had a webcam business and it made him millions. This was during the time when OnlyFans and Twitch was not a thing, although we don't have significant proof that he made the girls rich like he proclaims. But seeing his expensive lifestyle back in 2010, he definitely became a millionaire judging by the supercars he owned, because what kind of non-millionaire can afford multiple supercars? It just doesn't make sense. And no millionaire is going to spend every million they have on supercars unless they're ready for bankruptcy. But because there's no way of tracking how much money that he made from his live stream or webcam business, I'm not going to include that. Although I'm sure it's around $10 million, I'm still not going to include it just because. And this will be going towards Ben Shapiro's advantage, but he already lost because just by accounting his car and his watch collection, Ben Shapiro already lost. So I'm not going to kick a dead horse. I'm going to just stick with the facts. Fast forward a bit. He got involved with the Romanian mafia, and when you're involved with the mafia, you kind of have a few more perks. Andrew Tate gained the power to own strip clubs and casinos, both that can actually generate maddening income. The market in gambling for Romania is worth around $900 million in USD, and it would seem he owns around 3 casinos, being Bucharest, Nerva Traian, and Bucuresti. As of now, there are about 24 full casinos in Romania. So to own maybe 1/8 of them, even if we sum up the potential casinos that exist that is not on paper, I'll say double the amount. And that dodged the radar on, I don't know, the Romanian government, which is a stretch even for Romania. So let's just say Andrew Tate owns 1/16 of the casino. Multiply 900 million by 1/16, which is putting Andrew Tate at the disadvantage, right? This would project that his net worth is worth more than what it is. Owning 1/16 of the casinos in Romania would surmount to $36 million in gross per year. And after paying taxes, operation cost, and protection fee, because I'm sure Andrew Tate is getting help from the mafia, he's probably making around $12 million per year off of that. Because casinos make good money. Trust me, the local casino in my area is making billions per year off of idiots. To his cryptocurrency. They charge around a small 10% tax on crypto. Apparently, Tate took around 21 Bitcoin, which is worth around $500,000. That is crypto in the Romanian platform. That doesn't include the ones outside of the country, which is probably significantly way more than that. Now, to his e-commerce and copywriting and marketing company that he owns, the amount is so small it's worth around 500K that he generates from his little company legitimate businesses. Now to his OnlyFans. No, not Andrew Tate's OnlyFan. That would be weird. This pertains to the OnlyFans management company that is run by Tristan, his brother, that generates about 200K per month since early 2022. It can't be 200K in the beginning, so I will reduce that for the earlier years, but it sums to a little over $2 million after over 2.5 years of running it. Now, to the most popular business venture that he has, Hustler University. Back in the late 2023, it had about 200K members at $50 a month. Now you may think, 200K? That is bullshit coming from his mouth. True, Andrew Tate is a bullshitter. He is really famous for making a bunch of ridiculous claims and making people think he is something that he is kind of not, but he is sort of is at the same time. But if you think about it, having 200K people subscribe to some kind of platform is not that crazy if you think about it. Andrew Tate has a team. He actually knows how to delegate. If you look at Amaranth, one girl by herself generated 30 million by herself, and she is not the most Google person in the world. Andrew Tate was at one point the most famous man on earth, even more famous than the giant Oompa Loompa. So after some calculation, I found that he makes about 70 million a year and not the 132 million, which is the 200K, $11 million a month. That number is exaggerated by Andrew Tate himself, which is why I did the calculation and I chopped down the number to a reasonable amount, which is about 70 million a year. If we go by Andrew Tate's words, it's 132, which I call bullshit on that. But it's 70 mil a year since the release of Hustler University. Now, after crunching up the numbers, by analysis of his net worth that is trackable, is around $277 million. Here's a breakdown of the math. Now, if you ask me, I personally think he has more net worth than what I calculated. Probably half times more because there are some stuff that I cannot track. If you include his asset outside of Romania and the people that he has to hold his assets, like maybe his relatives or his really close friends, it's nowhere near the billions that he's proclaimed to be. Hell, he even said that he's a trillionaire. But yeah, it's definitely not the $12 million that Ben Shapiro believed. Now, is Ben wrong? According to Ben's statement, he is wrong, but he is not an idiot. I am 90% sure that he is saying this so it will catch Andrew Tate's attention and hit his little insecurity bone and trick him to reply to Ben's claim about, oh, Andrew Tate only has $12 million. All in all, I can't blame him because it worked on me and I'm making a video about this. Now, speaking of bullshit, if you like my video, subscribe to my channel. I upload about once a week, assuming I have free time. And that will be it. Toodles!